Hey guys, Fit here. So I had loaded a video earlier about bullet drop and everything else like that. Come to find out, I was wrong. I don't want to put information out there that's going to lead to you guys askew. Plus, it also messed up my buddy's rifle. Not, it didn't mess it up, but like I'm going to make sure he's actually dead on because he's going to be like 6 inches high. Bullet drop actually was meant to be where I was actually aiming high and hitting low. We're not aiming low and hitting high. So that was my fault. I'm gonna go and do some corrective measures with the said 270, running some, again, 130 grain bullets for him. Again, sorry guys, that was on me. I didn't think it quite all the way through, and I ended up being just backwards on it, more or less. My brain's about as clear as mud half the time, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and shoot again, and we will see where we sit. I'll see you guys in a minute. Out. Well, it's a little windier out today, but not a bad thing. Again, gonna go paint that 200 meter target with the angle I'm at with 100 yard zero. I'm supposed to have 3 inches of drop at 200. Again, this is where I was wrong, thinking, because I'm so used to a 200 yard one, and I'm looking at the box going like, oh, I should be 1.5 inches high at 100. At 100, guys, not at 200. That's where I was wrong, okay? So, just to show you, this here was where I was wrong. I should have been aiming here and hitting here, not aiming here and hitting here. So, that rifle's off. I'm gonna admit when I'm wrong, because guys, we're all human. We all make mistakes. I'm gonna paint this target up real quick. I'm gonna leave you guys right here in the truck for now. Grab my paint. We'll get to it in just a second. So bear with me. As soon as we get this taken care of, I'm gonna start sending round down range. Obviously, from the look of it, I'd centered everything up right in line. So now all I gotta do is just bring everything down when I'm aiming here and hitting here, okay? So hopefully you guys will understand after a minute what I'm doing, just to kind of show bullet drop. And I'll go through and I'll do another tabletop in regards to bullet drop. Correct this time. Overall, with that. So see you guys back up top at the gun, at the firing line. So again, for clarity's sake, at 200 yards, the 270 bullet should be about 3 inches low. It's about, again, not properly measured. I don't have a tape measure on me. That's about 3 inches low. So I'm gonna aim here and hit here because the scope is zeroed at 100 yards. Bullet drop then says that that bullet should be dropping 3 inches at 200 yards. Again, this is meters, guys. I'm gonna give it a little bit more than 3 inches of drop for the sake of the equivalent of 100 meters is 109 yards. So that 200 meters, it's gonna be 218 yards. So I'm gonna add a little bit more than 3 inches to compensate for that drop. Again, my partner's got that rifle set for 100 yard zero, and we're gonna shoot 200 meters. I will get everything lined out at the firing line real quick. We'll send rounds down range. So another thing to note, guys, I'm gonna adjust everything before we shoot because I know he's about 6 inches now over where he needs to be for 100 yard zero, and everything's in MOA, but that's at 200. So I'm gonna come down so if I'm coming down 6 inches to make sure it's a 3-inch drop at 200 yards, I need to come down 1 click of an MOA at 200 yards is a 1/2 inch equivalent. So every 2 clicks is 1 inch at that distance. So I'm gonna come down 12 because he's about 3 inches high at the 200 yard right now. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 3 inches. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 6 inches. Yeah, 6 inches. Because 1 click in MOA at 100 yards is a 1/4 inch. it exponentiates after that. So at 200 yards, it's a 1/2 inch per click. That's quarter MRAD. So here we go. Turn my audio up so I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm gonna have to yell anyway because the phone likes to drop the audio after I pull the trigger. He's already got these half fired. Just gonna be single feeding it for right now. I'm gonna make my pad a little taller. Should I get a shooting bag? Yes. Can I afford one right now? No. But here we go, guys. 200 meters, 270. We'll see how it hits. There it is. That's elevation, guys. I'm off to the right-hand side. I'm off to the right-hand side of the plate, but that's also because the wind's blowing from my left to right pretty good. I'd have to say a consistent 8 to 10 miles an hour. And that drop that I did on his scope put him right about level with where I needed to be. It looks like I could go another inch or so. So I'm gonna go another 1, 2. We're gonna send it. Now I'm gonna hold left that way I stay on the plate just to make sure that that elevation's good. So here we go, guys. Now my brain is firing on all cylinders. I don't know what I was doing before or why I was thinking the way I was. Well, I do know why. I was looking at the 200 meter zero and looking at the rise. Well, it's not technically rise. The bullet's higher on that line of intersection at 100 yards compared to a 200 yard zero versus having a 200 yard zero where everything after that is down, or 100 yard zero where everything after that's down. Because again, a bullet, the barrel is straight. Your optics are slightly canted downward, so it's going to be actually tipped this way a slight bit. What you're doing is you're intersecting your line of sight with where that bullet is going to cross in that line of sight. Your line of sight is infinite. The bullet is going to dip because it comes straight out the barrel. You know, bullet comes out, goes woo, and then at distance, it obviously gravity, friction, wind resistance, it's all going to drop after that. So it comes out and drops. Okay? Comes out and drops. So where you're intersecting it is where you want to be. I kept looking at his box right here. See, most people do a 200 yard zero and he's got 1.4 inches of rise. That's where my brain kept going in regards to the bullet drop. Not true. He's at 100 yard zero, which means that that drop then is different than what this box would say. Okay? And it's all based on angles, okay? I'll show you guys this on the tabletop, but with the 100 yard zero, that's where that intersecting line of sight with the bullet path is gonna be. So anything after that is gonna drop down, 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 down. I was thinking again, 200 yards, and then the bullet on the box, again, just because it's not gonna intersect until it's lower, is actually gonna be higher at 100 if you had a 200 yard zero. Because again, your line of sight is gonna intersect at a certain point. If it's at 200, well, that bullet's still flying straight, and you have it intersecting lower than you would at the 100. So it shows that at 100, compared to where your line of sight is, that bullet would be higher than that line of sight at 100 if a 200 yard zero. He has it at 100 yard zero, so at 100 yards, that bullet intersects, and then at 200, it drops. So I needed to aim high and hit low with that. I'll go show you guys in a minute because this is shot number 2. I think we're good to go. Okay, guys, again, like I said, I was messed up the first time. I don't want that video out there, not for the sake of covering myself, but for the sake of I don't want to present false information to you guys, okay? So with 100 yard zero, the bullet is continuing to drop. It dropped about 3 inches at 200 yards. I am shooting at 200 meters, which is about 218 yards. I gave it about another ½ inch or so for that bullet drop from 100 yard zero to a 200 meter shot. So aiming high, aiming at this top right here, I was able to take that shot right there. That was my first shot, and this was my second shot. You guys saw the other picture, right? I was way high, aiming here. It's about 6 inches of difference that I made. Again, knowing my minutes of angle and moving it down at this distance, I was able to put this shot pretty close. So again, 1/4 of an MOA, which is most MOA rifles are 1 click, is a 1/4 MOA, which is equivalent to about 1/4 of an inch at 100 meters. 100 yards, sorry. Meters and yards, guys. This is kicking my butt because I'm a MRAD shooter. I use everything in meters. But I know my MOAs, obviously. There's your result. But I was able to adjust in MOAs from being 6 inches high at 200 yards to move it down. As you guys saw, 12 clicks, it came out to a 13 total, to go back to where it would have that 3 inch drop at 200 yards for a 100 yard zero. So at 100 yards, he's going to now shoot point of aim, point of impact at his target. Again, not bad shooting, guys. I kind of do this. I love doing this. So I'm gonna send this rifle back to my partner. Hopefully he enjoys shooting it now that I have it corrected to what exactly it needs to be for him. I will go through a separate video on a tabletop about bullet drop and just again the basics in regards to MOA and MRAD. That'll be a later video when because it's getting cold, guys. Woof. Getting out here and shooting. I love shooting. It's best to shoot in cold weather, hot weather, windy weather for training. For a zero, you really want to make sure you have the kind of ideal conditions, just that way you know it's spot on with what you're gonna do, and then train yourself with the heavy winds, the extra cold, because heat, the temperature, barometric pressure, wind, it's all gonna throw your shots off, and it's all gonna affect how you shoot in regards to just your bullet and its characteristics. So there's an old boy out here picking up some brass. I'm gonna leave the gate open. Anyway, hope this helps you guys out. Again, I messed up on my last video and I don't want information that is wrong given to you guys. I messed up on that, I'm admitting that, and again, I'm not perfect. But now, today, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm firing on all cylinders, give you guys this good info. So hopefully this helps you out in regards to just understanding what a bullet does at distance, and train hard, stay fit. I'll see you guys later.